in the mid-40s, 70% chance of rain. In fact, tomorrow highs in the lower 50s. Sweater weather. Currently 52 degrees in the Twin Cities. My friends, stay tuned for the Jazz Impulse.
On the next Jazz Night in America, we'll take you on the ground down south as bassist Jamaluddin Takuma explores his North Carolina roots. I'm Christian McBride.
Tonight at 10.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis St. Paul and Jazz88.FM, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
It's Jazz88. This is the Jazz Impulse. And we're all over the place tonight in a good way. D-Light did Vote Baby Vote. Seems appropriate, it being election week. Have you voted yet? You certainly can. Early voting happening in Minnesota. Kings Go Forth before that. Went way back. Well, it was 2010, the year of 1,000 songs from Milwaukee's Kings Go Forth. They only had that one record. It was really cool. Happy to bring it out for you here tonight. Started off the hour with the Grateful Dead. A little tribute, a little late on that tribute, but Phil Lesh, bass player for the Grateful Dead, who we lost the 25th of October. Feels like just yesterday. Happy to play some Dead on Jazz 88 tonight. I just love the disco era Grateful Dead stuff. Shakedown Street, certainly part of that. We're hearing Serengeti from the same record right now, 1978. It's here on the Jazz Impulse. Danny Sigelman, your host tonight, flying around musically as we do. And I'm going to play some Stevie Wonder in a moment. I'm so stoked about his performance that I witnessed this past weekend. I'm still flying from that. And I hope you're flying on your Saturday night, inspired, having a good time. Maybe you're doing some puzzling at home. Maybe you're out and about. I got you. I'm going to get into some vinyl I brought, some records, recent acquisitions perhaps. UK label, Athens of the North. This group is called Coast to Coast. I think it's kind of another one-off, a disco vibe. Love is the Same. It's here on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse.
Travel near, or you can travel far. You find the same love, wherever you are. Ooh, love is the same. You better believe every time. Just like a seesaw, it has its ups and downs, I finally realized, no matter that love is the same. You better believe. Coast to coast. Well, love is the same. Sweet love is the same. Don't you know that it don't change? It don't change. Talking about love, it don't change. It can bring you sadness or real sensation. You can go to Paris, London, or Rome, but you find love to be the same as home. Love is the greatest. Love is the most. That love is the same. You better believe. Coast to coast. Well, sweet love, every time. singing about love, 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 love. Don't you know that I travel, yeah, travel far, but love is the same wherever you are. Travel, yeah, travel far, but love is the same wherever you are.
You are listening to the Jazz Impulse on Jazz88.
Nassau gone funky, Nassau's gone soul. We got a drum on beat now, gonna call our very young. Nassau rocks and Nassau rolls. Nassau got a whole lot of soul. Gonna fit alright. Mini skirts and max skirts and an afro hair too. People doing their own thing, don't care about me or you. Nassau gone funky, Nassau gone soul. And we got a drum on beat now, gotta take care of business too. Listen to the drummer playing in the beat. Listen to the bass man, gonna make you move your feet. Listen to the guitar, gonna give that thing some soul, yeah. Ain't it funky? Yeah, 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 yeah.
call me Rover. I'm gonna love you all over. I'm gonna get over into your bed of clover. You can call me Rover. I'm gonna love you all over. Come on. Got to find a way to get to all of your love. Got to find a way. All day, all day, all day, all night. I really, really, really got to find a way to get to all your loving. If it takes all day, all day, all day, all night. Call me Rover. You can go on, girl, and you can call me Rover. Gonna get into your bed. Sooner or later, gonna get into your bed of clover. Got to find a way. Come on. You can go on, girl, and you can call me Rover. You can call me Rover. Sooner or later, gonna get into your bed of clover. Really, really gotta find a way. Come on.
It's Jazz88 and the Jazz Impulse, your Saturday night. I'm grooving. I hope you are too. The Main Ingredient were a group probably best known for their song. Oh, what was that song? Everybody Plays the Fool, kind of like their hit. But they did make a bunch of records, including Aphrodisiac, which is notable for its cover alone. But 1973, the year of You Can Call Me Rover from Aphrodisiac. And that's kind of a record that was very much assisted by Stevie Wonder. He wrote a bunch of tunes on that record. And that was just one of them, but not one that he wrote. That was kind of the more groovy song on that side. That Stevie kind of contributed to kind of some of the love songs, as he was known as a lover man back in the day. Certainly wrote a lot of great love songs. We're going to dive into some Stevie Wonder in a moment because I'm still flying from seeing him perform this past Sunday. If you were there, if you were there, you're still feeling it. Even if you weren't there, I think he brought the juice to the Twin Cities, and we're all feeling it. Feeling good this evening tonight here on Jazz88. Oregon before that. They are out of New York City, 2006, the year of their version of Funky Nassau, which is a funky tune in and of itself. And they kind of updated it. And we just love Oregon playing their music. So dug out that single, Coast to Coast, from the UK, did Love Is the Same, starting the set off here tonight on Jazz88, the Jazz Impulse. Again, my friend Philip Harder will be joining me in the next hour. Always fun to hang with him, see what he's up to. His latest film, yes, he's a film director, and made this amazing film. It's essentially kind of a drama documentary sort of on Baron von Raschke, the famous wrestler, another one of my heroes. And we'll be talking about that. You can check it out on Amazon. I know it's kind of finally been released. It's a few years old now, but we'll be talking about that and finding out more what Phil's got up his directorial sleeves around 8 o'clock tonight. So stay tuned for that. Going to get into some Stevie Wonder. It's all happening right after this on the Jazz Impulse.
Hi, this is Ian Shaw, and on the next Ronnie Scott's radio show, I'll be chatting to Sarah Weller about some of the highlights of this year's London Jazz Festival at Ronnie Scott's.
Mika Miller, pianist Isfar Sarabsky and Shai Maestro, and last but not least, we have a hip-hop big band, Abstract Orchestra.
So do join Sarah and me for the next Ronnie Scott's radio show. Tuesday night from 8 on Jazz88.
superstition ain't the way. Very superstitious. Wash your face and hands. Let me go the problem. Do all that you can. Keep me in daydream. put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things that you do. I ain't lying, said I ain't lying. I can't stand it where you always running round. I can't stand it where you always put me down. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. You better stop the things that you do. No, no, I ain't lying. Said I ain't lying. I can't stand it, baby, where you always run around. I can't stand it where you always put me down. I put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Yeah, I put a spell on you. Said I love you, I love you, I love you, baby, honey. I don't care if you don't want me. I said I'm yours, I put a spell on
Yeah, it's the CA Quintet on Jazz 88, Twin Cities' own CA Quintet. Got a lot of mileage the last couple weeks out of their Trip Through Hell record, 1968, their lone release, and a masterpiece at that, especially during the Halloween holiday. Been mining that one for the last couple weeks, and kind of still a little bit of a Halloween vibe going on, so we played their version of I Put a Spell on You here on the Jazz Impulse tonight. Before that, Patronelle Staten, the B-side to her 1969 single, I Let a Good Man Go. That was called Little Love on the Sepia Records label. Stevie Wonder started the set off, and Superstition, just amazing night with Stevie at the Target Center last Sunday. Hope you were there too. If you weren't, you definitely felt it because Stevie really brought the love. We're bringing the love here tonight on Jazz 88. Danny Sigelman, your host. We're getting ready for the 8 o'clock hour. My friend Philip Harder will be joining me. He's a film director, a video director, a musician himself. He's got the resume. Also, a new film that just was released on Amazon called The Claw about Baron von Raschke, a story that needed to be told. It's a really good film. So we'll be talking about that and what else he has going on in a bit here. Right now, we're going to turn things over to, I believe, 1973 was another groovy year. Sister, we're in the love theme tonight. They're called Sister Love. It's here on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse.
It's the Jazz 88 live music calendar for Saturday, 7 o'clock. Adam Wolf Trio featuring Rachel Holder. Crooners, Minneapolis. 7 o'clock, the great legendary Junior Brown, Dakota, Minneapolis. 8 o'clock, the Joyanne Parker Band, Crooners, Minneapolis. And 9:30, Easy Speak, Volstead's, Minneapolis. Find more on the live music calendar at jazz88.fm.
I love Jazz 88 and I want to see it continue to grow and flourish. My name is Andrew, I live in St. Paul, and I donated my 2004 Toyota Prius. Instead of go through the hassle of trying to find someone to buy it, I would just donate it to Jazz 88.
Donate your vehicle today, jazz88.fm/support.
Yo, Rockin', what's up? Yo, I'm doing the knowledge, E, man. I'm trying to get paid in full. Well, check this out. Since Norby Walters is our agency, right? True. Kara Lewis is our agent. Word up. Zakia and 4th and Broadway is our record company. Indeed. Okay, so who we rolling with then? We rolling with Rush. Rush Town Management. So check this out. Since we talking over this deaf beat right here that I put together, I want to hear some of them deaf rhymes. You know what I'm saying? And together, we can get paid in full.
Thinking of a master plan, 'cause ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. So I dig into my pocket, all my money spent. So I get deeper, but still coming up with lint. So I start my mission, leave my residence, thinking how could I get some dead presidents. I need money. I used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the devious things I did. I used to roll up, this is a hole up. Ain't nothing funny, stop smiling. We still don't nothing move but the money. But now I learn to earn 'cause I'm righteous. I feel great, so maybe I might just search for a 9 to 5. If I strive, then maybe I'll stay alive. So I walk up the street, whistling this, feeling out of place, 'cause man do I miss a pen and a paper, a stereo, a taper. Me and Eric being a nice big plate of fish, which is my favorite dish. But without no money, it's still a wish, 'cause I don't like to dream about getting paid. So I dig into the books of the rhymes that I made. So now's a test to see if I got pulled. Hit the studio, 'cause I'm paid in full.
Akim, check this out. Yo, you go to your girl's house and I go to mine, 'cause my girl is definitely mad 'cause it took us too long to do this album.
Yo, I hear what you're saying, so let's just pump the music up and count our money.
Yo, but check this out. Yo, Eli, turn the bass down and just let the beat keep on rocking.
And we out of here.
Yo, what happened to peace?
Peace.
You know I'm looking through you.
tell. And you like me just as well. You wanna make love, but I want you to touch me. But first of all, baby doll, don't rush me. Take it slow and do it easily. Not just to please you, but also please me. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on me. Put 'em on, put 'em on, put 'em on me. When we first met, yes, we were attracted like bees to a hive, steel to a magnet. You said hello, hello, and how do you do? You gave a little wink, I guess you knew that I could hypnotize, cause that's what I did. I had you drooling like a baby without a bid. Hands on me. What I want, give me. You know I won't please you. What I won't do to you. You don't waste no time, do you? You know I'm looking through you. Why you won't tease me? I want you to come and please me. Situations like this, there's only one thing to do. You listen to me and I'll listen to you. It may be too early in the game to tell, but for sure you are qualified to ring my bells. Isn't it real yet sorta like a dream that I can be a player with you on my team? Winning individually but yet together. Solving problems comes easy, difficult never. Say hello, my name is Sam. I said my name is Light. Look, I'm in the mood for love. Look, I'm in the mood for love. Simply because you're near me. Simply because you're near me. I'm not the type of girl to put on a show. Cause when I say no, yo, I mean no. But when it comes to you, I just can't refuse. I beat around the bush, give you all types of clues. I love the way you make me feel, I never fight it. And when you are near, I get so excited. I want you to love me and just touch me. Or put your hands on me.
And you are listening to Jazz88. This is the Jazz Impulse and Calvin Alfonso Group. Some new stuff from the Secret Stash Records, folks. Cannonball, name of it. You can find the stuff at Secret Stash Records online. They're on all the streamers. Dipping back into the 12-inch catalog, we heard Sinead O'Connor before that with MC Light, Put Your Hands on Me, 1988, the year of that one. And we started off with Eric B. Oh, that was a really long set. Eric B. and Rakim did Paid in Full. And Sister Love, Give Me Your Love. Here on the Jazz Impulse tonight, Danny Sigelman, your host, gearing up for the 8 o'clock hour here at Jazz 88. My friend Philip Harder has joined us. Phil, say hey.
Hey, how's it going?
It's good. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
I always thought you had a face for radio.
Thank you.
He is in costume. Were you at a party or are you going to a party?
I'm going to one as Vincent van Gogh.
Oh, I must have missed my invite. A couple things happening in the Twin Cities tonight that are certainly to generate some traffic is a big game at Allianz Field in St. Paul. That kicked off at 8 o'clock, or is kicking off at 8 o'clock. What time is it, Phil? And that'll be happening. Expecting that game to probably get out around 10 or 11. Probably 11. So a lot of traffic in St. Paul along 94 there. When that happens, in Mendota Heights, 494 is reduced to one lane in both directions between Pilot Knob Road and Highway 77. That project's happening until November 8th.
Yeah, the 394 was packed on my way out here.
Really?
Heading into town, I thought there must be a game or something.
Yeah, we could have used a live traffic report.
I've given you one.
You could have
right
called in. Looking at weather, a chance of rain after midnight tonight. Lows in the mid-40s. Looking at some wind up to 50 miles an hour. Tomorrow, more rain. Highs in the lower 50s for Sunday. Currently 52 degrees. And we're getting ready for the second hour of the Jazz Impulse here. My friend Philip Harder is joining us. We'll be talking to him about The Claw. Really cool movie that Philip has directed. Did you write it? You didn't quite...
No, I didn't write it. Carl Raschke, the son of the band, mainly wrote it based on a lot of interviews with his dad. And so a lot of the recreations were done through his own words, put into a story form.
Yeah, it's a really cool movie about Baron von Raschke, the wrestler. AWA fans out there gonna dig it. We'll be talking to Philip about that. Philip's a music guy too. How many music videos do you think you've directed at this point?
Hundreds.
It's up there.
So it's almost 40 years now doing that.
Of making videos.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes, they're all out there. We'll be talking about that, maybe some of your favorites, and playing some of the music. Philip's kind of your own personal DJ when you go over to Philip's house. It's all coming up here on the Jazz Impulse.
.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis St. Paul and Jazz88.FM, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
I go to bed, but sleep won't come. Get up in the night, I couldn't stand my feelings. No. Early in the morning, oh mercy, it's just the same situation. Here came the landlord, just a knocking on my door, knocking upon my door. I've got 400 months rent to pay, and I can't find a dollar. Let me tell you, time talk. Everything is on the side. It's so hard. Time talk. Everything is going higher and higher. Sicily cannot bear it, but a league and all is standing now. They're crying out on there, louder and louder. Nobody to help them in their way. I got 400 more rent to pay, and I can't find a dollar.
from when I was a little boy. Just keep on feeling it, feeling it, feeling it, feeling it. Wow, stick on.
rise up. I turn into a teenage goo-goo muck. Yeah, I cruise through the city and I roam the streets, looking for something that is nice to eat. You better duck when I show up. The goo-goo muck. I'm the night-head hunter looking for some head with a way-out body underneath that head. Yeah, I'll get you, baby, with a little rub, 'cause I'm a teenage tiger and a goo-goo muck. You better duck when I show up. Goo-goo muck. Yeah, the city is a jungle and I'm a beast. I'm a teenage tiger looking for a feast. Yeah, I want the most, but I'll take the least. 'Cause I'm a goo-goo muck tiger and a teenage beast. You better duck when I show up. The goo-goo muck.
This is Jazz88. This is the Jazz Impulse. And that was The Cramps. Goo Goo Mucks, 1981. Is this an OG copy, Phil?
Yeah, I see on my vinyl there. It said $1 from Vintage Vinyl.
Yeah, at one point this was only $1.
Well, actually 99 cents.
99 cents.
So I probably bought this in the mid-'80s.
ESG in there from 1983. They were dancing. We started the hour off with Toots and the Maytals here on Jazz 88. The Jazz Impulse, Danny Sigelman, your host. I am joined by my friend Philip Harder. Philip, how are you doing?
Doing great. Good to be here.
Philip is a film director, video director, musician. What else? You fix boats?
Yeah, we were working on a boat on the Mississippi all day today.
Yeah. But very excited for you in the film The Claw, which was finally released. When did The Claw first... And this is a film, you can't quite call it a documentary. It's like a docudrama? Or what do you call it?
Yeah, it's a bit of a hybrid because we did all these recreations where the Baron plays himself.
Yeah.
And a lot of this we shot at First Avenue downtown Minneapolis. We also shot in New York, Japan, Omaha, Nebraska, New Jersey. Basically we would have Baron, Jim Raschke, Baron von Raschke. He's this evil German who would put the claw on your head and it was lights out.
Fierce in the ring, yeah.
Oh,
it was always scary.
Super villain, just one of the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And but he's actually Jim Raschke, not even an evil German. He's from Omaha.
From Omaha.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I remember I first watched the movie. I was watching it in Omaha. I tried to figure out where he lived, maybe.
Yeah.
The story of Baron von Raschke is interesting in itself, but also just the story of how this movie came together. It started as a play, correct?
Yeah, it was a play at the History Center, and the Raschke family invited me out to see it because I had worked with Baron on some music videos. That's how I met the Baron. I went to a casting agency. We were going to cast an old man for a 1995 music video by Low, the band from Duluth. And I saw the Baron von Raschke's picture on the wall. And I'm like, what's the evil, scary German who used to scare the crap out of me when I was a kid?
He's a versatile actor, it turns out.
No, he's a really nice guy. He lives near Minneapolis. He's not even German. And I'm like, what? So we hit it off. We did some music videos together. Then I was invited out to see the Claw. They called it the Baron then. And
the play.
Yeah, the play. Mm-hmm. And Carl Raschke, who's the producer on the movie, leaned over and he said, "This is the part where my dad always cries." And it turns out his dad is super sensitive, college-educated Olympic wrestler who found this alter ego where he would be in the ring as this evil, worst of the worst villain.
Yeah.
And then he'd go home and tickle his kids.
Yeah. He really is kind of a teddy bear in real life.
Oh, my God.
The times I've met him, he's always very sweet and kind. Yeah. And the ability of the physical ability, let alone kind of being able to portray and create this character out of nothing, is kind of what's really impressive about the Baron's life and his career in wrestling at the heyday of kind of the 80s wrestling craze.
Way earlier than that.
Yeah.
Some of the people he wrestled with, Vern Gagne, who started the AWA here in Minneapolis, and they invented, they invited Andre the Giant, Hulk Hogan, all those people got their start there. Mm-hmm. But Vern Gagne and Mad Dog Vachon, who is Baron von Raschke's partner, were in the 1948 Olympics.
Oh, wow.
So they met there. Mad Dog Vachon was supposedly from Algiers, but he's actually from Montreal.
Okay.
And at the advent of television, these wrestlers who were excellent Olympic wrestlers started creating these shows on their own. Mm-hmm. Wrestlers making TV shows, and many people have seen these shows, and they're pretty funny, but a lot of people were really sucked into these crazy shows.
Yeah, it kind of seemed real.
Oh, well, a lot of it was live and real. And but what's really cool about the movie is we kind of uncover all that. From the advent of TV, Baron was a wrestler in the 60s. He was qualified for the 1964 Olympics. Mm. He met Vern Gagne in the AWA in the mid-60s, and then he was supposed to be a good guy, a babyface at first.
Yeah.
But then Mad Dog Vachon says, "Nah, we'll make you a bad guy. We'll shave your head, give you a cape." And Mad Dog wanted to call him Baron von Pumpkin. And
fitting for the holidays.
Jim Raschke, a.k.a. Baron von Raschke, said, "Well, my last name is German, so why don't we go with that?"
There you go. And it's all history. I remember growing up watching him on TV and being very scared. And I think the bad guys kind of it's almost like you kind of looked forward to seeing the bad guys a little bit, at least when I was 10 years old and watching wrestling. And so he was a real star and, took on the Jesse Venturas and Andre the Giants and all that. It's a really cool film. It's just finally available widely. I know you've been showing it in the last couple of years. And is this a final cut?
Yeah, we got a distribution deal, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And exclusively on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
So it just came out, and we're really happy about it.
Yeah.
It's, very indie, but, we're a lot of extremely experienced filmmakers who put all our heart and soul into this. And so things like that take a while to get distribution. And when we did, we were really pleased. So now it's out there, and we're spreading the word.
Yeah, and there's a real surrealist, like a fantastic reality kind of vibe to it, I feel, especially with the juxtaposition of older footage with the new and kind of encompassing this character and how they are now. And with all that vintage footage from the AWA and TV era and all that.
We uncovered so much footage. The Raschke family had all this Super 8 footage that they shot themselves.
Yeah.
They'd have parties with all the wrestlers over.
Yeah.
Plus, it also tells the family story. So there's two sides of this film. It's the dichotomy of the evil villain, Baron von Raschke, and the sweetest guy ever, Jim Raschke. And as he steps in and out, and he plays that role, he'll be up on stage, which we say stage, but we made it a ring out of the stage at First Avenue. And he'll be up there in the suit saying, it was 1967. I was in Montreal starting out. But what really happened, and cut, and he's in his robe. And then we really mess with the surreal nature of it as we kind of show 16 millimeter from that era, our stuff that looks like 16 millimeter, and you go for a really wild ride, and it's hilarious and it's pretty high energy.
Yeah, it's really, really well done, and I'm just very excited for you and everybody that are able to finally see it. It's a big part of Minnesota history, and there's a ton of music, a lot of Minnesota music in the film too. Being a music fan, you got to kind of put together the soundtrack for it.
Yeah, there's a lot of my influence was punk back then. When I moved here in the 80s, and the Replacements and Husker Du and all those great bands were the thing in Minneapolis. So we got a lot of music from that era, and it turns out a lot of those bands loved wrestling too. It kind of suited.
Yeah.
So like Rifle Sport, the Mighty Mofos, the Batson brothers are huge fans.
Yeah.
Bob Mould was a massive
I was going to say Bob Mould became like a writer for wrestling at some point.
Yeah. Writer? What's that?
Or consultant? Or why did they need a writer? That? Yeah, who could write that? Well, very cool. And we'll get to some of that music. In fact, we were going to play. Is this the theme song to the film?
Which song is this?
This is the 9th Hour.
Oh, this is because you are a jazz station. We have a jazz song in our movie. It's by Lydia Lesher.
Yeah.
And she's a local jazz artist. She composed this song, and we needed a scene in a bar where we had music in the background, but it turns out, it's a nice, peaceful bar setting, and then all the wrestlers decide to have a bar fight.
Yeah.
So I kind of had a placeholder, like a Muzak thing, and then I heard Lydia's amazing jazz composition, and so she has this song in the movie, and we're really proud to have it in it.
It's very cool. My guest tonight, my guest, Philip Harder, is in the studio tonight. He's a film director, video director, so many cool bands that you've made videos for. It's something we got to talk about. But we're excited about The Claw, now released. It's a film about wrestler Baron von Raschke. A lot of Minnesota history. Let's listen to Lydia Lesher. And it's part of the soundtrack of the film. It's called The 9th Hour. It's here on the Jazz Impulse. Man, it's been a minute since I've heard that tune. That was Low and Kill the Strings from The Great Destroyer here on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse tonight. Yeah, rest in power, Mimi Parker, huh?
Yeah, she was a really important part of our connection with the Baron because of that 1995 video with Low.
Mhm.
That's how I met him. And, you know, Baron was a huge Low fan.
Yeah.
He was really happy to have them in the movie.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw that video, I'm like, that's Baron von Raschke. That's what happened to him.
Yeah.
He's delivering balloons to children or whatever.
Well, in 95, we did that video, and
Yeah.
then we had a party at our house,
Mhm.
and Low played. And then Baron and his wife, Mrs. Claw, Bonnie,
yeah,
a.k.a. Mrs. Claw, they both showed up. And that was when we all met and had a really good time and kept going forward from there.
That's right. And that song and the one before it, we heard Lydia Lesher, The Ninth Hour, both songs part of the soundtrack to the film The Claw, which you can find online at theclawfilm.com. It is a documentary about the legendary wrestler and all-around supervillain, Baron von Raschke. I have film director Philip Harder here talking about that film. I'm excited for you, man. It's really cool. Film is now available on Amazon, and we'll play some more music that Philip brought in here. Philip's a long-time video director, maker of rock videos. And we'll play some of that stuff in a bit. But we have a feature coming up with Phil Nussbaum on the Renegade Quartet. It's all happening after this here on the Jazz Impulse.
Hey, it's Jazz88 Development Specialist Andrew Diamond. Thanks to everyone who came through for us during our fall drive. If you weren't able to, there's still time. We depend on listener support year-round. Visit jazz88.fm to donate today.
Time for Twin Cities This Week. The Renegade Ensemble presents Minnesota composers next Thursday in the Vanguard New Music Series. Next Thursday, the Renegade Ensemble performs new Minnesota classical music. It's part of the Vanguard New Music Series at Zion Community Commons. Renegade Ensemble cellist Aaron Kerr talked to Phil Nussbaum about the show. That's happening at 7 p.m. this coming Thursday, November 7th, featuring music by 3 composers. They first talked about the inspiration for Aaron's work to be performed. You Give Us No Choice.
My inspiration for this was a sad event, which was the May 2020 uprising that happened right here in the Twin Cities because of the murder of George Floyd. After the uprising, I got on my bike and I started riding towards University Avenue right here in St. Paul. I wasn't more than probably a mile outside of my house when I started seeing the damage that happened from the uprising, and I looked out over University and I could see black smoke happening from all of the fires. I rode down University Avenue. The whole experience was just incredibly sad for me. I am a person who I really don't like violence, and I had a lot of trouble reconciling myself to that. On the other hand, I think that people needed to be heard, and I don't think that they were being heard. And so what I realized in my head is that when people are put into those positions, they have no choice. We as a society have given them no choice, and because we've given them no choice, they are forced to riot because literally their lives are at stake. And so I wanted to write a piece of music that was a reflection of that.
Aaron, your piece is called You Give Us No Choice, and it's going to be a preview at the concert. But you have something that you composed and recorded previously, your Piano Sonata number 1, that has a similar mood.
The piece that you're going to hear, the piano trio, has a very similar feel to the piece that you're going to hear at the concert. It has kind of that driving rhythm to it. Almost you can imagine people like, kind of an angry mob like marching down the street. And then it also has those notes that are really, really tight together, and it has a really kind of dark, very intense sound to it.
We're speaking with Aaron Kerr of the Renegade Ensemble, which is presenting the Vanguard New Music Series, and you are presenting a composer named Jonathan Postuma. You were saying that you think he's an interesting composer. Why?
Well, Jonathan is one of those composers who's kind of all over the place. He writes music where like all of the notes are written and all of the members of the ensemble are just going to play exactly what he wrote, and that music is fantastic. But he also does these very interesting pieces that are known as open score pieces, where you don't tell the ensemble exactly what to do. You just kind of give them some general directions. So it's kind of flexible. What's really interesting about playing these is that you never know what it's going to sound like. So it's different every time.
But do classical players want this freedom?
Kind of have to find the right players who are willing to experiment. After having done it a number of times, I find these like open score pieces to be like super interesting to play, just because you absolutely never know what's going to happen.
As a sample of a posthumous composition, we've got a 2018 recording by the American Modern Ensemble at the Mostly Modern Festival, Dream City. We're speaking with Aaron Kerr of the Renegade Ensemble, presenting the Vanguard New Music Series, and the next item in the series is November 7th at 7 p.m. We've played a few of the composers, but not Isaac Mayhew. And Aaron, could you comment on Mayhew's work?
Isaac's music, to me, I love because it's both very energetic and also very complex. The piece that we're going to hear is very similar to what we're going to hear at the concert, what we're going to play at the concert, except the piece that we're going to hear is just for solo piano. The piece that we're going to play at the concert is going to be for the ensemble, so it's going to be piano, violin, cello, and 2 percussion, and the percussion players are both going to be playing mallet instruments. So I think one is marimba and the other is xylophone. And so we're going to have kind of like Isaac's music and all the complexity and all the energy with it, but with like a much bigger ensemble. And I can't wait to put that together.
The Renegade Ensemble presents a concert in the Vanguard New Music Series November 7th at 7 p.m. That's a Thursday. It'll be at Zion Community Commons in St. Paul at 1697 LaFond Avenue. For information, the web address is renegadeensemble.org/performances. That's renegadeensemble.org/performances. This program is made possible by the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Phil Nussbaum speaking.
When addiction takes hold, it's easy to feel like no one can help. But you're not in this alone. For 75 years, Hazelden Betty Ford has been at the forefront of addiction and mental health care, evolving treatment, reimagining recovery, and breaking through barriers to help families everywhere find healing. So please reach out at 855-489-2383. Help is here. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation and aired by the Minnesota Broadcasters Association and this station.
Tune in here on Monday nights at 7 for Minnesota Jazz Tracks. You'll hear local legends like Irv Williams or Jeannie Arlen Peterson, distinctive Minnesota artists like Happy Apple or L.A. Buckner. Old and new, near and not too far, we'll see what's been going on in music around these parts. That's Minnesota Jazz Tracks with me, Sam, Monday nights 7 to 9 on Jazz 88.
This is Jazz88 and the Jazz Impulse, and we are listening to Low. Believe it or not, Philip, you never heard this.
Well, I did a video for this song before it was a remix.
Yeah. I was just reading about the Owl remix album, remix of Low tunes. It came out in 1998, and Alan Sparhawk has stated that the band did not have any input into the creation of this album. That's interesting.
Yeah, there is one track from this album on this upcoming movie we're making about Low, and that one was a remix by Bob Mould from Husker Du.
That's cool. And, people listening probably who might not know who Philip Harder is, if you know the band Low, you know Philip's work, because I think you probably were involved with every film or video production that the band did, yeah?
I met them in Duluth in 93 before they had their first record out. We were making a music video for that first debut record, and I worked with them for 29 years up until a month before Mimi Parker, drummer, singer, passed away in 2022.
Yeah. And I remember the Over the Ocean video, the normal version of that song, and how it was pretty innovative maybe at the time. All the furniture was falling really slowly in the background, and the band's just kind of playing. And
yeah, I had an idea where this house would be falling down around them, and we did it in slow motion, so all the stuff would fall beautifully and smash all around them. And I said, just don't react. Don't react to anything falling. That wasn't until we chucked a bed off and it hit Alan in the shoulder.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I shouldn't laugh because it was close to a disaster.
Yeah, it sounds
because we
like
were
it.
pretty scrappy, and sometimes things would get out of hand and everything's super loud and crazy. And because it was slow motion, we ran the song really fast.
Right.
So the song took 45 seconds to go through the whole song. And
Yeah.
then when we play it back, it would be super beautiful in slow motion.
Very cool. And Philip's videography, you have a website for your work, yeah?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell
Yeah,
you
what's your
what-
website? We'll get the websites out there.
Phil-harder.com. It's just all my films and music videos and
Yeah.
documentary films. and
Including
things
the
like
Low stuff. And you mentioned that a kind of a compilation of the Low material might be coming out next year?
Yeah, it's everything we filmed from 93 till 2022. And it's a very rare look at a band. You see them very young. They get older. Their music changes. They get louder. And it's all from the perspective of one director, which I think is extremely rare that one director would work with a band that long.
That is true. You're right, man. Especially a band that's been around as long as they were. Do you have any stories you could share about Mimi? And it may be part of your friendship with her, like that sticks out. I mean, I know it's maybe hard to talk about. We certainly miss her and the music. It's awesome that Alan's still very active musically. But what was your experience personally with them?
Well, I'll take it back to that Baron von Raschke video, the second one we made in 95.
Yeah.
Mimi was really fun. She would laugh. She'd talk about kids and food. And she was just like, opposite of her character when she was in the band. And, maybe that's a little bit like Baron. He was a villain and then he was a super nice guy. Well, Mimi was really light and easygoing and just, backstage, she'd always be asking, oh, what's your kid up to?
Yeah.
Anything but music. But when we shot that video, she was floating through this crowd of dancers with balloons and all this stuff. And she just steps into this character, which is so influenced by the song, which is just a gorgeous song. But
Yeah.
anyway, I noticed that about her,
Yeah.
People put on their performing character in a way.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like Woody Guthrie would do that, He'd
Sure.
play characters.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot with artists who are performing live.
Yeah, I think a performer sometimes feels most comfortable on stage, and then off stage, they have a personal life, but there's still a part of their existence that is known as being the character on stage. I mean, I think of her as just being so quiet on stage, and kind of their music so heavy and kind of brooding, and she kind of played musically. She played the thing about Low was they were so minimal and just like barely enough to get the song through, and that was what was really admirable about a lot of those records and a lot of that music. And it's cool you got to be a part of it. And do you see yourself working with Alan in a video directorial capacity at some point? I know he's got some new music coming out.
Well, right now he's the executive producer of that film. It's called Cue the Strings, a film about Low. 30 years of the band. It covers their whole thing, and we're going to put that out in 2025. So that'll be the follow-up to The Claw.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, we were in San Francisco with Baron von Raschke, Carl Raschke, and we were doing an art screening with Craig Finn from The Hold Steady. Warming up. And the reason he was there because Baron's son, Carl Raschke, and him used to play as high school kids in Baron von Raschke's basement practicing. Maybe Baron was like, turn it down. But anyway.
I say it all the time. It's a small town.
Yeah. But that morning we got the call that Mimi passed away.
Oh, man.
So Baron did a really nice dedication to her during the Q&A. And I forgot that there's a scene right at the end of the movie where this, we kind of do a best of Baron's life, and one of them was this Low movie, and the curtain opens on a close-up of Mimi, and I just, it was really tough that day.
Yeah, that's very heavy, and we miss her. We miss that voice for sure, and so thankful for all the music that she left behind and the legacy. Before that, we heard Lydia Lesher. No, we did the Twin Cities this week. Okay, yeah. This is the Jazz Impulse. My name is Danny Sigelman, and Philip Harder is my guest tonight. This is the most talking I think we've ever had on the show. I'm really digging. No, it's cool. I imagine this program as being kind of a hang sesh. So you're my guinea pig here.
Well,
as far as hanging out, man. We're listening to music.
Another song.
We should.
Speaking. Go ahead.
I just want to say, I mentioned to people, if you're just tuning in, I'm Philip Harder is a film and video director of many music videos through the years. You worked with Low, Prince, Afghan Wigs, done quite a bit of work with them. What's another one that's kind of Babes in Toyland? I remember that one.
I did worked with Foo Fighters. A lot of Bare Naked Ladies videos, Matchbox 20, Pulp, Corner Shop. And I don't know if you remember the iPod commercials with the dancing silhouettes.
I did those.
Yeah.
That was your fault.
Yeah.
What was that? A U2 song, or I can't remember what it was. Or
ours was
different
the
songs.
Fratellis, different songs.
Sure,
been eating off that one ever since.
Yeah, so a lot of TV commercials and ads or whatnot. You've probably done a little bit of it all in terms of moving pictures.
I tell people I never had a full-time job. I've just been a filmmaker my whole life.
Yeah.
So now that I'm getting near thinking about retirement, I'm like, well, I guess I'm not retiring from anything, so I can't retire, so we'll just make more movies.
Absolutely. So the Low film will be your third? Yeah?
Yeah. We did
Let's talk
a
about
couple of years ago, we did Tuscaloosa, which is takes place in early 70s Alabama. That's also on Amazon. And that stars Natalia Dyer from Stranger Things.
That was a cool film. That was really good. So that was kind of your first feature film outside of some of the video compilations and whatnot.
And just to show how tight I was with Low, they did the original soundtrack for that.
For Tuscaloosa?
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. And this is this next track we're going to play. Matt Arthur is somebody that you're working with currently.
Yeah, Matt is an old friend of mine. He's a blind musician from Ellendale, and he plays in Minneapolis all the time, and I've known him for 30 years. And so he asked me, hey, you want to produce a record? And I said, well, I don't produce records. I don't even know what that's about, but I'll tell you what, I'll direct it. And he liked that idea.
Yeah.
So we started making this record. I went up to Duluth again and worked with Alan Sparhawk from Low. I just let him produce some of the songs.
Yeah.
But I thought this one would be appropriate because it's Halloween weekend.
Yes.
And this is a very scary song.
Scary song.
I think Matt Arthur, the Matt Arthur contraption, is one of the best kept secrets in Minneapolis, and I'm hoping we can get the word out.
Yeah, we're getting the word out. And Matt is playing. Does he still do a weekly gig, or was it like a monthly thing?
He's got a monthly at Palmer's. He's going to be playing there November 23rd.
Okay.
The day before Thanksgiving.
Awesome. And the possibility of new music from him next year then.
Yeah, we put out the EP recently. It's called Runnin'. And then there's a concept record about an outlaw named Billy and his lady named Honey and a horse named Clyde.
We're going to hear The Devil's Song from Matt Arthur. It's here on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse.
Deep, dark, cold night like I had never known. And I was walking down the road all alone. So still, not a sound around. Till suddenly I heard a voice singing, I-oh, 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 I am the devil. I'm here to take your soul. Just then, everything went black. I had no idea where I was at. I looked down on the ground and I saw my body laying there like an old paper sack. I thought I'd maybe died. Wonder if I'd ever come back. I was pulled into a dark dungeon. I met many creatures, 7 heads, blood pouring out of their eyes and nose and mouth, and the constant sound of I-oh, 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 and the smell of death all around. I-oh. One, two, three, four. And as I was pulled along the dungeon, I knew I had to do something, or I was going to be taken over and eaten by the devil and all of his creatures. So in a last-ditch effort, I grabbed a hammer from one of the creatures and I began to pound on the creatures and the devil. And I beat and I banged and I pounded and I pounded and I pounded until there was no more sound. And I was returned to my body, standing there on the road all alone, a natural man. But I alone had beaten the devil's head. No more I-oh, 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 I-oh,
Support this valuable community service while marketing your business to a new discerning audience by joining the Jazz88 Business Circle. Our members include the American School of Storytelling, Tom Sullivan of Sullivan Financial Advisors, and Smack Shack Bloomington. Learn more about our business circle and how to join at jazz88.fm.
Get ready to savor that extra hour of sleep. Daylight saving time ends overnight Saturday into Sunday. Reset your clocks back 1 hour Sunday morning so you don't miss any of your favorite programs on Jazz 88.
88.5 KBEM FM Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Jazz88.fm, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools.
listening to Jazz 88. This is the Jazz Impulse. Lee Morgan, that's coming a deep cut from the Sidewinder. We heard Lee Morgan on trumpet, Billy Higgins on the drums, Bob Cranshaw on bass, Joe Henderson, the tenor sax man, and Barry Harris on piano. I think you bought this record at Treehouse Records, Philip.
I did. You can see that.
I can tell by the price tag.
I leave all the price tags on, so I remember
where
I got it.
My guest here tonight is Philip Harder. He's a video and film director. We've been talking about his latest film, The Claw, the story of Baron von Raschke. You can find it on the clawfilm.com website, and there's a link there to check it out on Amazon, now available exclusively on Amazon. That's a nice coup. And people are starting to check out the movie again. Or, it kind of had limited release before, but now it's available to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, just festivals and things like that are special screenings, but the way this film industry goes, you save it for the public. So you're doing a lot of test audiences, you're hitting festivals along the way, trying to find distributors, people involved. Meanwhile, you're getting rights and all these kind of things because there's just a plethora of footage in this film. It's maddening how much footage from everywhere is in this film.
So like whatever production company originally showed AWA Wrestling, you had to go to them to get some of the permission for that footage, or it's different for everything?
It's like so many sources. I mean, it's all over the world sources, Japan and, Germany and all these places. So filmmakers have ways. I mean, there's also fair use, which documentary filmmakers have used lately. That's why in the last 10, 15 years, documentary films have exploded because they're able to use so much footage and, let the public see all this stuff.
Yeah, it becomes, what's the term? It becomes public property or whatever? Or
well, it's not public domain, but it is fair use, which, is just something that was kind of hidden from the public for so long, but documentary films that you probably see every time you see a documentary, it's probably got some fair use. If it's like somebody on the Johnny Carson show or a little clip of Kimmel that we have, Jimmy Kimmel did a little segment on the Baron about a year ago.
Oh, cool.
And we used that with fair use. And I said to Carl Raschke, Baron's son, who's a producer of this, you think we can use this? And he said, well, Jimmy Kimmel never asked my dad to use his photo.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, if you get Jimmy Kimmel on board, that maybe he'll have the Baron come on the show.
Yes. So many people of Jimmy Kimmel's age and whatever, if they grew up in the Midwest or, Baron went around all these circuits, they would have remembered the Claw. And it's kind of like this pop culture thing that's anyone from age 40 to 80 knows the Claw. Yeah, and wrestling at that time was kind of just gaining popularity as his career went on, and it's kind of exploded in so many ways. But in terms of these kind of former athletes needing to create a character to be on TV is somewhat of a new thing to the Baron's generation, I think. Yeah, and all those wrestlers, they would do the interview, and Mad Dog Vachon taught the Baron. He said, quote, 90% is an interview, only 10% is the wrestling.
That's true.
And back then, before they had writers and whatever the WWE is doing, with more glitzy stuff, every wrestler wrote and did their own interview. There was no writers.
Yeah.
And they would write the stories in a way, and they would keep the stories going from town to town. It was like a circus lifestyle, and that's what we try to show in the film.
I think that comes through. We're talking about The Claw film, which you can find on theclawfilm.com. The Claw is the story of wrestler Baron von Raschke. It's Minnesota history, really. And pretty cool that Philip Harder, our guest here tonight, directed this film, and it's now widely available for folks, and we're excited for you. And excited for the Baron, man. He is getting his due with this film, and it's just a lot of fun. It's so cool. I thought it was really well done, and kind of leaves a nice warm mark in Minnesota's contribution to the wrestling phenomena and history, I think.
Yeah, and the Baron, he's still out there promoting it and signing autographs. And I bumped into him at the main cinema recently, and I opened the door for him, and there was a sign on the door that said no animals allowed, and Baron goes, I'll just keep my claw in my pocket.
He's still at it. That's amazing. Very cool. Well, you'll have to give him our best when and if you see him again soon. But we are going to play some more music here. Philip's a big record collector, as all of us are, and brought some really great jazz records. I always enjoy hanging out at your place and listening to some of the stuff. What can you tell me about your relationship with John Coltrane's Giant Steps?
Well, I don't know John Coltrane.
You don't know? Yeah, you never.
But I did work with Don Cherry, who worked with.
Yeah, you were saying that. Yeah,
Don Cherry. In my first time in Hollywood, I shot a video for Joe Henry, and Don Cherry was guesting on that video.
Yeah.
So we were out at the site of the Little House on the Prairie, and Joe Henry was working with the famous jazz photographer William Claxton, and if you've seen any photo of, say, Chet Baker, those are his.
Okay.
And William Claxton had become a film director, and he did some Bonanza episodes and all this thing. Well, William Claxton couldn't do it, so they quickly got this young guy from Minnesota. I was just getting started with my 16-millimeter camera.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and while I'm there, Joe says, it turns out William Claxton can make it.
Oh,
but
you got bumped?
No, they said, but you're still directing it. And I'm like, what? And now here's William Claxton with his camera, his still camera right over my shoulder.
Wow.
And at one time I was trying to figure out exposure, and I asked him, how do you expose this? That's so bright back there. And he goes, I guess you'll have to figure that out. But William Claxton, Don Cherry, those guys are very, very classic old school jazz.
We'll have to get your Prince story at some point. That sounded really fun. Philip made a video with Prince for the tune Cinnamon Girl.
That's right.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that. We'll maybe play some Prince in a bit, but we're going to Giant Steps here. It's on Jazz 88, the Jazz Impulse.
Programming on Jazz 88 is supported by Walker West Music Academy's Rondo Community Music Series, sponsored by the Harlan Boss Foundation for the Arts, with a performance by the WDP Crew featuring Robert Robinson, Saturday, November 9th at 7 p.m., open to all. Details and more at walkerwest.org.
We'd like you to join us here Sunday nights at 8 for a great hour of music with Sinatra and friends.
You make me feel so young.
From sweet ballads to swinging brass, it's an hour with Frank and his group of friends that made music called the Heartbeat of America 50-some years ago.
Yes, I've got you under my skin.
Hope to see you here Sunday at 8.
It's the Jazz Impulse
We aren't satisfied until you are.
on Jazz 88.
And thanks for tuning in to Jazz 88 tonight for the Jazz Impulse. We're with you every Saturday, 7 to 10 here on Jazz 88. I'm your host, Danny Sigelman. The Rolling Stones, little assist from Sonny Rollins on saxophone, went back to 1981 and the Tattoo You record. I think that was like the first Stones record that like made my consciousness. You know, I was, 5 years old, 6 maybe at the time. You're what?
I remember when that came out, and that was the new thing was the music video, and they actually shot some of those on video back then.
Mm-hmm.
I remember they were doing a news segment. I really loved the Stones, and it was like, Mick Jagger is 40 years old. Can an old man like that still rock?
Can he? Yeah. Oh, wow. And you grew up in where? Eau Claire, was it?
No, a small town of 48, Christie, Wisconsin, in central Wisconsin.
Shout out Christie, Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's a really good hotbed for musicians. Willie Wisely Trio had an amazing bass player from there, Jamie Voss. And then we ran into some people along the way. One guy, he was a drummer. He lived there for a little bit. He played with Stiv Bators.
Oh, cool.
So it was like weird to have a town of 48 with some musicians.
And so did the art and music bring you to the Twin Cities at that when you were like out of college or what?
Yeah, headed a friend of mine came back from Minneapolis. He kind of had dropped out of the scene due to drugs and alcohol, but he brought with him all his cool records.
Yeah.
And he was like, check this out, new music by the Replacements and Husker Du. And he gave us our little band. He gave us a Replacements record. And the next time we played live, his name was Doc. He's a huge influence on us. Great guy.
Yeah.
He's no longer with us. But anyway, the next time we played, we were so naive. We covered the Replacements, and he goes, you don't get it. You got to write your own music.
Write your own songs. Yeah. Very cool. We heard some Shirley Scott in there before that and started the set off with Philip Harder here and picking from his record collection, John Coltrane's Giant Steps on Jazz 88. And Philip Harder is my guest tonight on the Jazz Impulse. So cool to have a guest in here with me. It's a lot more fun, I got to say. And Philip is a film and video director. Lots of films. You never worked with the Stones, I suppose.
I did not.
No, is there somebody that's kind of in your wings that you've always wanted to work with, that there's actual chance, possibility, or are music videos still being made? You're still directing?
Yeah, I'm still making them.
Yeah.
I always wanted to work with the Meat Puppets for some reason. I just love that band.
Ooh, yeah, hell yeah.
Minutemen. I worked with Mike Watt, from the Minutemen.
Yeah.
He's an amazing bass player, the best, rock bass player in the alternative music scene.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, maybe he and Flea could compete for that role.
The list is endless, really, with a lot of the work you've done through the years and all the music videos. It's awesome. Your films are coming out now. We've been talking about The Claw, which is a documentary about Baron von Raschke. I think it's kind of more a drama than a documentary, in a way.
Yeah, I think so. It's a really great story, I mean, they used to keep the secrets of wrestling very precious. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But, fast forward 50 years after his retirement.
Yeah.
He's easy to talk about. And he kind of jokes about it. There was a scene where he was talking about how he was wrestling and he cheated all the time. And his son, Carl, was interviewing him. And he goes, I'm sorry to tell you, but your dad was a cheat. He laughs.
Oh, wow. And are you getting calls from Jesse Ventura? Like, where's my movie?
We'll leave that one alone.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was a kid, we would debate whether wrestling was real or not.
Yeah.
And we would, try to put the claw on, nothing would happen.
Yeah.
And we would kind of argue, and we thought when we'd see somebody not get hit, obvious on television.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't raise their hand to protect themselves from a hit. And we'd try to do it to each other. And it's like, see, you can't do it. And we'd argue. And my dad would be like, stop it. You're taking the fun out of it. And all of a sudden, Baron von Raschke was on TV doing his gnarly face. He looks like an escaped prisoner from Germany. And my dad goes, boys, wrestling may not be real, but I'd hate to meet that guy in a back alley.
Wow, how ironic. It was meant to be, Philip.
Well, Baron would say, because I've heard this before, and maybe I even said it to him, people of our age would come up to him and go, "You used to scare me as a kid," and he'd go, "Good."
Yeah, and he'd put the claw on him.
Only if he's paid.
It's a very cool film. You can find it at theclaw.com or theclawfilm.com, and there's links on there to find it on Amazon. It's available. Definitely worth the watch. I had a good time seeing it a few years ago as part of the film fest during COVID, actually. I was able to check it out, and I'm happy the whole world, it's available to the whole world now. So that's exciting. We got some music from the film here. This is Sketches of Baron, Part 1.
Yeah, this is by a good friend of mine who we were working on the boat today, David Somella. He did the composition for this, and we really talked a lot. Not only is there music from different bands and stuff, we wanted the theme music. You know, there's the score.
Yeah.
And so I really liked aggressive cello, and I thought Baron kind of represented the aggressive cello.
Yeah.
And I was thinking like Kodai and some of these like more modern cellist composers for cello. And we also talked about Benjamin Britten. You know, David is a huge fan, as I, and David composed on piano. And then we got a cello player from France. His name is Christophe Luciani, and he played the cello parts, which were quite complicated. But so if you listen to this and you're imagining the evil villain Baron, that's the cello. And the piano, if you want to get conceptual, that's his family life, the other side of the Baron.
Ah, okay. Just a little sneak peek of the soundtrack to the film. Is the soundtrack going to come out on record or anything?
Oh, yeah, vinyl.
That could be
We're
cool.
going to start with 45 singles only.
Okay, all right.
For your jukebox, Danny.
Maybe press it on a wax cylinder for people.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Let's have a listen. Sketches of Baron, and this is part of the Claw Film, which you can find at theclawfilm.com. It's on Jazz88. Yeah, good way to wrap things up here tonight. Miles Davis, and the tune was called Love Me or Leave Me, 1953 recording for Miles Davis and a killer band, including Kenny Clark on drums, Percy Heath on bass, Horace Silver on piano. You got to be kidding me with this lineup. Lucky Thompson, the sax man on there, J.J. Johnson on trombone. It's here on the Jazz Impulse. We heard some samplets, a little taste of the film soundtrack to The Claw, which is the film just recently released on Amazon, courtesy of our guest tonight. Director Philip Harder has been hanging out with me. I always have fun playing music with Philip, and we're all excited for you, man. Congrats on this film. And, bringing the Claw's story to the world. No easy task, of course. And you guys did a bang-up job with this film. It's a very unique way of telling a story, I think.
Yeah, you said it's a Minnesota story, but Baron was international.
Yeah, that's true.
He wrestled in Japan and all over the world, and we went to Japan and shot, actually.
Yeah.
So it does have Minnesota roots, but it actually goes quite far.
It goes, really far. And he's if you're not a wrestling fan, I think it's still a really interesting story. Kind of revolves around this individual that tried to be kind of a proper quote-unquote athlete, but ended up kind of being larger than life and creating this character, the Baron, and his infamous claw.
Yeah, and when we were in shooting a scene about Japan, good friend of mine from Japan, Danny Nevitt, he's helped me with all my movies, and he said that in Japan, the Baron was so huge, just massive.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whoa, we should shoot there. And he's like, let's go.
Yeah.
And what we did a scene which really bizarre, because they say like the Japanese were, after World War II, television's coming out, and the wrestlers would fight the evil Americans and beat them, and then Japanese would win back their pride.
Oh,
you
man.
know, it's just kind of this loose story, right?
Yeah.
But then the American would cheat, and they'd have to have a rematch, you know?
Yeah.
But the scene we did was great wrestler Baba the Giant wrestling Baron von Raschke, and I was kind of thinking, well, Baron's a German, and he's Japanese. Now, how does that one work?
Yeah. But they pulled it off, and the story is very craftily told throughout, and involving a lot of kind of vintage footage, but also stuff that you guys filmed through the years. How long did from the day you first started shooting or writing the script or whatever, how long of it? I mean, it's like a long time in the making.
The earliest stuff we shot was in 1967 when Baron von Raschke debuted in Montreal.
Sure, yeah. But as far as like when you started the film, I mean, I remember I was in a scene that didn't make it, but that was
sorry to hear that.
That seems like forever ago, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a labor of love.
Yeah.
And, everybody, the whole film community came together to work on this because there's so many Baron fans.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful. You can't make a movie by yourself.
Yeah.
So there's tons of great talent that worked on this.
Mm-hmm.
All the producers and everybody, I just hats off to all of you if you're listening tonight.
Shout outs, yeah, for sure. Anybody else want to shout out?
Well, our producer, Patrick Riley, he might be listening.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Helgeson was a big part of this. Rest in peace.
That's right. Yeah.
Just really good people working on it throughout.
Yeah.
And Bradley Beasley, a documentary filmmaker we did a Flaming Lips video. I helped him a bit with that. He's just a great documentary filmmaker.
Very cool. Folks can find it at theclawfilm.com. It's available on Amazon to watch, and do dig it. Now, Philip, I've been holding you to this. You're going to tell us the Prince story on the way out here.
Everybody's got a Prince story.
Everybody has a Prince story, but you got to work with him. Do you know how you got on his radar at the time? Because what was it, the musicology era? So early aughts?
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of huge videos on MTV at that point, and what I learned about Prince is he really studied the people he worked with, so he knew my work.
Mm-hmm.
And I met him in LA before a concert. I had to go through all the security. It was a long story.
Yeah.
But I didn't really know what to do, and I wasn't even sure what the song was, and he wouldn't allow me to say this today, but I'm going to say it anyway. He said, I want to do a video. It was right in the height of the Iraq War.
Yeah.
And things were going, it was a quagmire. And he said, I want to do and it was after 9/11, of course. There's a lot of racism against Middle Eastern people at the time.
Yeah.
And he said he wanted to speak about that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, I want to do a video about a young girl who commits. And he looked at me and goes, how do you say it? Jihad?
Mm-hmm.
And I immediately was floored. And I think I swore like, holy, you know? And
what you talking about, Prince?
He kind of like did this sting motion, like, ooh.
Yeah.
And then I remembered someone said, never swear in front of Prince.
Ooh. Yeah.
So he goes, now you just go away and go write your thing, do your thing, and we'll talk later.
Yeah.
And I was walking with his handler afterwards. I'm going, is it true you're never supposed to swear in front of Prince? He goes, never swear in front of Prince.
Yeah.
But I wrote this story, and he goes, he gave me a nice compliment. We did that story.
Yeah.
And I said, this is going to be banned from MTV. There's no way we can show this or whatever. And he goes, don't you worry about that.
Yeah.
He wanted to get the message out.
Yeah.
And I worked with him all summer. It was a really amazing video, which had he had a lot of causes. He wasn't just like a pop star.
Right.
He was
very
really
charitable
helpful.
and
And
humanitarian.
after we finished it, he said, now I want you to go hit the whole circuit and promote it.
You promote my video.
Yeah. And so I did like so many radio.
Really? You had to
interviews,
do
just
that?
on and on. No, I didn't have to. He asked me to.
Sure.
And I remember the first one, that quote I told you, I did screw up early on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said something, and I'm almost embarrassed saying it about now. But I said, Prince thought he wanted to make a video about a young woman who committed jihad.
Ooh.
And the internet blew up.
Oh, wow.
The next morning,
Yeah.
Prince calls me, he goes, excuse me? And I'm like,
Wow.
you don't know what I think. And you know that feeling when your heart jumps into your throat?
Yeah. What did I just do?
Oh my God, I felt so little. And
Yeah.
he goes, you only know what you think, and you know what the song is about, your interpretation of it. Now I want you to go do a whole bunch more interviews. He just let me keep going.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
Okay.
supportive in that way.
Right.
And I learned so much from Prince because he had his ear to the ground and he relied on so many people.
Yeah.
And when I was making these movies, I took that with me.
Yeah.
Because you don't do it alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he was so great.
Yeah.
Because he studied the people he worked with.
Mm.
And he brought them to a higher level. And that's what he did with me on that video. I never made a video as cool as that one.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool video. And it sounds like a positive experience sometimes.
Oh my God. It was the greatest summer of my life. I
Yeah.
can't believe it. I was on the phone with him all the time.
Awesome. Well, let's have a listen. The song was called Cinnamon Girl. Philip, thanks so much for coming out tonight and telling us about your work. And theclawfilm.com is where you can find The Claw and the link to the Amazon. Have a great night, Philip. Have fun at this Halloween party.
Yeah, I hope you're going to join me.
I'll tell you, I didn't bring a costume. Is it necessary? I'll dress.
We'll make one up.
Okay. Very cool. Have a great night. We'll see you next week here on the Jazz Impulse.
War drums beat in Babylon. Cinnamon girl starts to pray. I never heard a prayer like this one. Never before that day.
listeners could be your best customers. Reach them and support this valued service by joining the Jazz88 Business Circle. Thanks goes to members including River Rats Dueling Pianos, the Cedar Cultural Center, Ann Nordby, College Essay Coach, and Minnehaha Falls Landscaping. Find the complete list of our circle members and information on how to join at jazz88.fm.
Support Jazz88 all year long. Become a sustainer at $10 a month or more and receive the new Jazz88 digital member card. Donate at jazz88.fm or 612-668-1735.
Thanks for tuning in to Jazz 88. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday night. Always a pleasure to have you join us and tune in. If you're out and about on the roads in the Twin Cities, you're going to want to look out for some extra traffic in downtown St. Paul, as the Excel Energy Center is hosting Nathaniel Rateliff and the Night Sweats. Their show started at 8 o'clock. Expect extra traffic after tonight's performance up until about 11. And in downtown Minneapolis, Usher performing at the Target Center. Kicking off 2 nights at the Target Center tonight, Usher is performing his Past, Present, Future tour. That show should be getting out around 10 or 11 o'clock tonight. So a lot of traffic, a lot going on in the Twin Cities on a typical Saturday night. Do be safe out there. And an ongoing construction project to keep in mind, in Mendota Heights, 494 is reduced to 1 lane in both directions. Between Pilot Knob Road and Highway 77, there's an 80,000-pound weight restriction, and that'll be going on through November 8th. Weather tonight, a low around 47 degrees and rain. You were listening to KBEM FM, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Jazz88.fm online, a listener-supported service of Minneapolis Public Schools. And as always, thank you for listening to Jazz 88.
Perched on the second floor of a walk-up in Southwest Philadelphia is a small room, or a very large closet, depending on how you look at it. There are remarkable outfits from the 1920s to the 1990s, rows and rows of shoes, and maybe the slickest collection of sunglasses and hats you've ever seen.
This is an original 1970s, as the guys call it, shaft leather jacket. But what I did is I upcycled it with some webbing, sort of the Gucci webbing. So you see here what I did here, the belt, concept of the belt.
It's the Red Carpet Room, a vintage consignment shop and space run by Jamaluddin Takuma.
I am a bass guitarist, composer, and producer from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Jamaluddin's got style. Decked out in bold colors, European cuts of threads, and always rocking a bold pair of shades that contrast with the stark white beard. In his mid-60s, Takuma remains hands down one of the finest dressed musicians in the world. He's an artist that you almost see before you hear. So what exactly is the Jamaluddin Takuma look?
Tons of eyeglasses in all different shapes and colors, and rings I like. Hats I like a lot. There's not really one Jamaluddin Takuma iconic look. I might come at you in many different ways.
Jamaluddin is a Philly legend, most known for his energetic rockin' approach to the electric bass. Whether way out there avant-garde or soulful R&B, he's always grooving.